if you're going to tell me that peace, for me, ultimate peace, is the absence of my family, that is so crazy to me. And I'm like, well, are you telling me that all my life I've been chasing after this dream and I was wrong? I was chasing after the wrong dream? Like, what the hell is that about? I went to therapy today, and the time right now is 5:25 on Wednesday, February 28th. Not the last day of the month. It's a leap year, so tomorrow, the 29th, will be the last day of February. I thought that we were going to finish off the story of my life, and it would have been the last day of that story. So I set some time aside to prep for that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure that I touch up on this, that, and the other. And that didn't happen. Actually, I don't know what happened, by the way, because I don't know why this was coming to my mind now. I do tend to kind of ruminate after my therapy sessions, but I have to tell you, I'm getting better at it. I'm ruminating less and less and less. I need to tell you that, actually. Since I started therapy, so this was my session, probably sixth session. I don't know. I feel like at this point it's been a lot, to the point of I've lost count already. I'm very proud of myself that I stuck it through. I still don't know if I'm going to continue to do it. And I don't know if I'm like healed now. I know that I'm not, but I'm like, I feel so much better. I told her that when she asked if anything has improved. I told her that it's the same update that I had last time. The fact that I feel better about things in life. Even my PMS wasn't so shitty. Usually I'm just like, hate everybody and everything's horrible. But now it's been just tra-la-la-la-la. And she asked me, do I think that maybe I have more peace? Which, isn't that what we all want? But at the same time, I don't want, it doesn't look like what I always envisioned. And it feels like a tragedy for me, because I always thought that a perfect world is a world with my family and myself. So if you're going to tell me that peace, for me, ultimate peace, is the absence of my family, that is so crazy to me. And I'm like, well, are you telling me that all my life I've been chasing after this dream and I was wrong? I was chasing after the wrong dream? Like, what the hell is that about? And I also told her that I'm finding myself just blocking a lot of people out of my life, and it's so crazy to me that everybody who gets eliminated, there is no void that they leave behind. So I guess now I'm strong enough, and I'm at a point where I'm cutting off people. I'm seeing people for who they are. I'm brave enough to just be like, bye-bye. And once they're gone, they don't even leave a void. I'm like, was my life full of all these people that mean nothing to me, that shouldn't even be there? Or is there going to be a point where it's going to come over me like a ton of bricks, where I'm going to be devastated over the loss of all these people, because I'm removing a lot of people out of my life, and it's scary. You can't tell me all these people are toxic and didn't need to be in my life. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It almost scares me what's going on. It's good, but it's like, whoa. So I also mentioned my concern that I have about, I'm not going to go into detail, but a family member said something about Switzerland being one of the only places in the world where assisted suicide is legal. And I was like, how did she come to finding that out? So I brought that up to another family member who said, no, it's fine, it didn't bother me. So I found that to be maybe a little, I don't know, not dismissive, but kinda. And then that family member said to me, actually, the person that you're talking about did bring that up with me as well. I was like, oh my God, that's even more concerning to me, that not only did she talk about it to me, she also talked about it to you in such a short space of time. The fact that this thing is so in her mind is concerning to me. And this person was suicidal when she was young. She did make an attempt at one point, kinda. And I also know about I'm privy to other aspects of her being that way inclined. So I was like, And the person I said that to said, she's fine. Actually, if you ask me, I think more and more countries and states should allow assisted suicide. I was like, just so gobsmacked. Like, how are you not concerned about this? So I brought this up with the therapist. And the therapist said, to be honest, I think there is a concern there. You're right to be concerned about it. And it's good that you have a gut feeling about it. And always follow your gut feeling, which is exactly what I believe in. And she said, you need to reach out to that person. You need to have a conversation. I was like, how do I approach this? And she said, she told me, suggested how I could bring it up. And I also told her that this person and I had a conversation where I asked her, hey, by the way, do you think that you need therapy, or you could maybe benefit from therapy? And she said, no, which I thought was wild, because what do you mean you don't think? I asked her if she thought she had any issues that therapy could help her address. And she said no. And then she asked me if I thought she needed therapy. I was like, well, I don't know. I just wanted to hear from you if you thought that, if you felt that way or not. Because I just was like, all I ever do is be telling people to do the work on themselves. I'm always telling people to, do all this stuff. And I don't want to be annoying to the point of, people just being like, oh gosh, here we go again. She's always going to be forcing us to do things that we don't want to do. I can tell these people don't want to address anything. They don't want to face reality. They don't want to work on themselves. Not all of them, some of them. And especially this particular one. So I'm not here to tell her, yeah, you're not, because I know she believes she's perfect and she does everything right, she knows everything. So I'm not here to burst anybody's bubble. I've got my own burst bubble to fix. So I was just like, wow, that's crazy that this person doesn't think that they need help. So I was equipped with some suggestions on how I can approach that subject, because you're out here talking about doing research on, assisted suicide, and you being suicidal and all this stuff, and you want to tell me you don't want to go to therapy because you don't have any issues? Are you kidding? What? So I guess I'm looking forward to addressing that and getting it out of the way. I have to tell you, my therapist really makes me feel good about the person that I am. And it's so validating, when someone's when all your life you've been shut down and shut up and dismissed and all those things. And then you meet this person who you respect, who's a professional, and they say, you handled that very well. You did a great job. Good for you for doing that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're telling me I've been right all along? I'm going to be 50 years old. And I spent my life being told. I spent my life knowing and believing that I'm right in my heart of hearts. But everybody who was important to me was telling me, you shut the hell up. So now you're telling me I was right? So that was very validating. We didn't actually end up talking about what I wanted to talk about, but I'm just, on this path where I like to take things as they come as much as possible and get the most that I can out of them in the moment. And I don't want to be I would much rather, unless there was something pressing. And today felt like therapy, more so than last time, in that it felt like therapy because we were addressing issues and she was just like, okay, you could handle it like this. And it was like a back and forth. I loved it. And I like when she brings in examples, maybe from her life, from a friend or from another patient. Of course, she doesn't tell me who it is or whatever. I don't know any such details about these people. But when she uses those kinds of examples, for me, it works for my brain. And it's okay. So it was very good. I really enjoyed it. Maybe I have to tell her next time I see her that, I thought we were going to do one thing, but I'm very happy about that session. I needed it. It's what I needed. And she reminds me of things that are important to me that I know, but we need reminders of. She's like, just don't forget to be kind to yourself, and don't team up against yourself with people that are against yourself. I was like, yeah, you're right. That kind of thing. And it was great. And then she gave me homework of something that I've seen already because I do read. I love a self-help book and that kind of thing. So she gave me homework to read up on dysfunctional families and the different roles and of players within that structure. And so she was like, go over this and you should see which role you identify with. One of the roles in there, which I always felt like I am, is the scapegoat. It's kind of self-explanatory. But then I also found the lost child. I was like, parts of this is who I am and who definitely I was when I was young, because I was just hide in my room. Not my room, I didn't have a room, nobody had a room. But I used to go like and hide in a room and whatever, and but then there's the mascot of the family who makes a lot of jokes, whatever, which, funny enough, even though I'm one of the funniest ones, that my whole family is funny, but I'm one of the funniest ones, oh, you should be stand-up comic type deal. For some reason, when I was reading about those characters and roles, I didn't identify as the mascot. I thought immediately when I saw the clown, I was like, oh, there's a clown here? That's gotta be me. And I read the description. I was like, no, it's not. I think that's my... Because, I went through it. And all kinds of things. Funniest, hilarious, always making jokes, always this, always that. But going... And everyone was shocked, like, what? Of all people? Oh my God. Which, personally, I don't get surprised when these things happen because I understand life and whatever. Like, I'm funny too, and I'm going through stuff. So I know that you can be funny and, and be dealing. So, like, yeah, that kind of thing. But yeah, so I have that homework, which is not going to be hard for me because I kind of, like I already mentioned, have... I'm losing this game. I kind of have already dabbled. But yeah. So I did forward it to some of my family members. One of them replied and said they'll have a look at it tomorrow. They won't. I bet $100,000. They won't. And, okay, maybe I bet 100 pennies. They won't. And the same person, I remember I sent them a book and they said, oh my God, definitely gonna read this, I promise. I don't think they read it. I never heard back and I'm not gonna pressurize anybody. That happened like twice. So, yeah, this is not, basically, he's not a man of his word. I haven't heard from other family members. I will not be surprised if I don't hear from anybody else about it. It is my homework after all, not theirs. So, yeah. I don't want to spend too much time. Space. And that's it.